Good morning. A chilly morning. Autumn is in the air. I see here's Willie and Sammy in the background there, two of the most beautiful creatures on the planet. They start every day with enthusiasm and curiosity and joy for the day ahead. It's not a bad way for all of us to start the day, is it? Rugby league season is here as well. Bring it on. The Broncos are going to be hard to beat again. All the usual suspects will be there, the Storm and Canterbury and Cronulla. I think the improvers might include Parramatta, North Queensland. I think South Sydney will have a much better year. Had a terrible run with injuries last year. The Titans looked a different team in the trials, so their fans have something to look forward to. I think their new coach, Josh Hannay, is very, very good. But I was watching South Sydney last weekend in their trial match against Manly, and near the end of the game, Wayne Bennett, their coach, took Latrell Mitchell, their star player, off the field, give him an early shower, and instead of walking off the field near the dressing sheds, Latrell went off the field on the far side, which gave him an opportunity to touch all the hands of the kids who were lining the fences. The game was played in Mudgee, where they don't, where they don't get to see these fellas too often. So Latrell walked all around the field, touching the hands of these kids. And getting towards the end, there was one little boy, and I was watching him, he was on the fence, and his hand was down here, and Latrell missed it. And he walked on 6 or 7 steps, and I thought, what's he going to do here? Well, Latrell, to his great credit, turned around, went back to the boy, smiled at him, and touched his hand. And it's a moment that little boy will never forget. So well done, Latrell. Took me back to a time many years ago when I saved my paper run money and went out to the Sydney cricket ground with a brand new camera to take the photo of my hero, Reg Gasnier, one of the immortals, centre 3/4 for St George in Australia. And I waited at the front gate, and Mr. Gasnier arrived with his wife, and I approached him very nervous. But his wife got the idea and said, "You'd like to have your photo taken?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to take a photo of Mr. Gasnier." And she said, "Why don't you have your photo taken with my husband, Reg?" And he smiled and put his arm around me, and we did that. And these are significant moments in our lives, aren't they? I recalled another time, it must be back in the mid-80s. I was at the Gabba. It might have been when Australia were playing West Indies, can't remember. But I do remember Greg Matthews was quite the eccentric character for Australia at the time. He was an all-rounder, more a bowler than a batsman, but a fine player, very eccentric. Greg walked to the beat of his own drummer. But at the end of the day's play, the kids were lining up around the oval to get Greg's autograph. And they were literally all around the Gabba. And he said to them, "No rush, I'll stay here until the last one is signed." And he did that. Took him a long time, but Greg stayed there until every autograph book was signed. And I thought, it's a marvellous moment. These are significant moments in kids' lives, aren't they? You might have your own memory of that. I know plenty of athletes I've seen turn down autograph moments. I've seen them be very rude to their fans. I won't name them here because they don't deserve to be named. They're best forgotten. But athletes have the chance, like other personalities, to leave indelible memories, to teach lessons, to serve as role models. It's a great privilege. Have a great day.